Hello, do we have energy in the building?
We here.
We got our pod voices on. Everybody got their little Adderall energy, whatever your pick me upper is. Some of you niggas might be an Elmer's glue, a sniffer, uppers.
I don't think that
What's
works.
up?
Yeah, I don't think that would.
Special K, Dust.
God damn.
I don't know what niggas is on, all right?
Yo, leave that Jersey City shit
I'm just
there,
making
bro.
sure everybody's here. Jersey niggas went to Harlem to get that dust when it first came out. They're going to stop putting all of it on Jersey.
Nigga right there.
What part of Jersey?
Oh, you up here? Yeah. Okay.
That's their gang. Bloomfield gang.
Stupid.
It's a fancy camera that this nigga got.
Bloomfield.
That is a fancy little device.
Nah,
Here.
for real, we had to. I copped that because I was paying directors to do all these videos and it was fucking it up. They wasn't delivering. I'm like, I linked with him like some months ago, and we just started working. We shot a video on another camera. I was like, this nigga hard, so I just went and spent the money, bought a camera. We've been shooting
Invested.
videos.
There
We
you
got
go.
Some shit
There you go.
about to drop. Crazy.
Let me move this up a little bit, Hit Boy, because you about to say some shit that we need to hear. I ain't gonna let you skip over that. Why was that bothersome to you? How much were you paying these directors?
Man, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I probably canned like over 100K worth of videos, like multiple
Canned?
videos. Canned.
Throwing
like,
away.
Wow.
Just gave
Trashed
like, man, I don't even like this shit. Like just the way they captured it, the way they shot it, and so like I just took like that's my whole thing right now. Like I'm just trying to take all my power back, just like in the game, like, and that's what's empowering me to do shit like King's Disease and shit I could really put my vision all the way through. I'm not just being used in a minimal way, like, oh, do some drums over this guy's sample or some shit. It's like I'm really doing full projects and having my vision be a part of the rollout and what's going on with it. So just taking my power back. So yeah, I went and bought that camera, and me and my boy, we them there sitting there editing shit together. Like he a guru with the shit, and I just know what I want to see. So we put our minds together, and now I'm just cranking out fire videos. Like I want to show y'all one for sure.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I wanna see
Shit,
it.
dime, yeah.
And doing it
We
this
got a
way.
Dropbox link,
Oh, yeah. I got Dropbox.
sir.
And doing it that way, I'm certain is a lot cheaper.
Oh,
Good-
man.
good business
Cheaper,
decision.
And it just feel better. Like you know what I'm saying? I can sit down and edit with bro. I ain't gotta wait for a nigga to send me an edit. I don't like it. Tell him to fix some shit. Like we just straight, down to the nitty gritty.
You get to be more hands on with it.
Yeah.
Because you're doing it in house. Yeah.
I know we don't have too much time, but I want to cover as much ground with you as possible. Not often that we get somebody who the entire room respects the way that we respect you. So I want to start there.
Same here.
I want to say
I watch y'all show. Y'all going crazy.
congrats on everything. This guy, even though I'm mad, I respect you so much. Your business partner pointed out some hate I threw your way. we started with a little bit of hate.
It was just speculation. You just was like, I don't know how this Nas and Hit Boy shit gonna work out for real.
Well, I mean,
But don't you think
Nobody
that's,
did. Nobody.
that was like the
That's-
common
that's
question, right?
that's good hate.
That's a good
Because
critique.
not even hate. It's curiosity.
Yeah.
Well, all right, I'm gonna
Yeah,
speak
but
for-
from the artist perspective, and I'm tossing right to you after this, Ice. But from the artist perspective, we all live in ego. The nerve of you, nerve of you questioning what I'm about to do with him. You don't know, like you get that as artists. I'm telling you. Go ahead, Ice.
And I mean, and this is, I hope it's not taken the wrong way, but a lot of people's knock against Nas was his ear for beats. So it was like, we don't know what we gonna get. Nas don't always pick the best beats. So we were glad to see it turn out the way it did. Niggas ain't know what to expect going.
No,
when it was announced.
I told him I was harsh on Nas off of the Kanye project.
Kanye, I was about to say,
I heard
coming
you
off the
say that
Kanye
before.
project.
No, I get where you're coming from for sure.
I'm from New York, Queens even.
You wanna hear that?
You don't have to tell me about who Nas is, but with that Kanye, and Kanye is one of the greatest producers ever, so y'all get together and we get that. That said to me, I don't know how enthused Nas is in this.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I don't know his participation level. I just don't know. It's too much I didn't know. And who the fuck knew you was about to just do that? Like, you.
Then do it twice again.
But that's what I'm saying. I have yet to even introduce this nigga. Hold up, man.
Okay, yeah.
Big Queens.
Yo, no funny shit. For me, this could be on Illmatic.
Man, that's hard.
This record. This one.
Yeah, that's hard.
Or one of them albums. Oh, man. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hit Boy in the building. And it goes.
They call me Babyface in '88.
Did you have to fight to keep your tag in? on any of the beats?
He was with it, man. That shit just was.
You
That's
wanted
where I
your
was
tag.
at the time. I'm like, nigga, my tag is on. Like I said, I feel like I spread myself thin early in my career, and people really didn't connect the nigga who did Niggas in Paris, Trophies, Backseat Freestyle.
Wait, whoa.
You know what I'm
Just
saying?
what'd you say? What'd you say?
Just like how I didn't have a tag early in my career, so I'm doing, ASAP Rocky first single. I'm doing big records for Nicki and Beyonce, multiple records for Nicki, multiple records for B, fucking all these joints, and people just not connecting the brand like that.
Why do you think?
I don't know, maybe because the sound is just kind of different every time. That's what I chalk it up to, but. I mean, just at that point when we was doing King's Disease, like every beat I was making, that was my motivating factor. Like putting my tag on it, like, okay, I finished another one. Let me throw the tag on it, bounce this shit down, and go to the next one. Like,
not for nothing, that was also the worst time in music history for credit. Like getting credits, like Tidal wasn't really popping like that. I don't even know if they had the credit feature yet. Spotify wasn't doing credits, and nowhere else still does credits.
And it was switching over from the host to streaming and
Facts.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas don't read the album cover no more. Like when we was young, you would open the shit up.
During that time, you couldn't.
It's digital.
Now you can a little bit better. There's
that does make a lot of sense. I ain't think about it like that.
What?
Yeah, like
just like how you couldn't really read credits.
Get a CD. You used to open the shit while you pop it in. You still read and do it and all of that. You don't get that no more. And then most people, even when they buying music, y'all music enthusiasts.
Right.
An average person that's just buying music, they don't give a fuck about who produced it, who wrote. Like they don't care.
All they hear is the artist. They just see that visual. Like, I like the way they dressed. I like their hair.
Yep, that's
it. Think about the artist. Like, oh, Nas sample whoop-de-whoop. Jay-Z sampled this. Nigga Timberland sampled that shit. Or whoever, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. So when you're on this earlier run of all of these records that you're naming, is your business in order or no?
It is not to the level I would have liked it, to have been. But and also just like I put out a whole statement talking about my publishing deal and how I didn't even know I was in a bad pub deal until I really made a hit, which was Niggas in Paris. So I go looking for the bag and they like, oh, well, your contract says this. So that $50K we gave you when you was 19, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, you're going to have to just keep earning. Like, we don't have to give you no money, basically. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a fucked up situation. So I fought for years after Niggas in Paris came out to even get an amendment in my deal. And it got a little bit better. Still was trash. And then just recently, like a year ago, I got another amendment after I put out that statement talking about we got to fix my shit.
In that process, how did you continue to have leverage to get them to amend?
I mean, shit.
Because that's the part I think goes understated.
When I put that statement out, Detroit, the album I executive produced for Sean, Detroit 2, was #1 and shit. So it's like, I was in the mix. Niggas had to hear what I was saying type shit. And the Nas had shit that already dropped. Yeah. And
Grammy nominated.
Yeah, I just feel like they just had to do something. And also, gotta, shout out Rock Nation, like working with them, they, they got the Second Amendment to the deal, but it's still personally not where I wanted to be at. And on some real shit, my boy, I don't know if y'all know who Chasing Cash is. That's my brother. We really started together. I basically introduced him to Polo the Don. Got the same deal, same day, same everything. I signed my amendment, which I didn't even want to sign. And
for publishing.
Exactly, for publishing. Chase, like a couple months after, ended up completely getting out of his deal. So I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I was telling my team at the time was, I don't want to sign this deal. I feel like, nigga, I gave them 14 years of my life, my career. 1 year out of high school, bro. 19, I signed my publishing deal. Now,
and
I'm
you
still
just rectifying
this win. I'm
this
still in the same deal.
Same
like, basically. So
you just kept amending.
I'm trying to, that's how I said, like, I want to take my power back. I'm trying to get the fuck out of my UNPG deal. I love Polo the Don, but we've been doing this shit for 14 years. Like, I'm trying to, like, be a free man and shit. I'm about to be 35 in 3 weeks. I was signing my deal at 19. Y'all gave me 50 racks. Look at my shit. It's millions of dollars I done made.
Yo, that's the conversation we just had when we talking about.
He gave me sick to my stomach. They gave me $50,000.
And that's it. Like,
at 19, your dad in prison, your mom, got a little daycare and not really making no money. So $50K sounded like
that's the world.
Everything. Nigga, my dad been locked up basically my whole life. He got out a couple times and But, you know, I've been really just having to figure this shit out. And my uncle was in a group. They were successful in the early 90s, late 80s. But just after a while, even like it's like only so much knowledge I could get from him because he wasn't even making the level of money I'm making right now.
And they were signing shitty deals back then, too.
Exactly.
Facts, even worse deals.
Exactly.
Worse.
Yeah.
Did you have an attorney present when you did?
My original deal, man, bro, this shit get deep. Like,
I'm here for it.
you know, I signed with Polo. He had his whole team, and they basically gave me like a dummy lawyer, which is not to even disrespect the homie, but they gave me a lawyer just to do that fucked up publishing deal. And then Polo's lawyer started just doing all my business, getting paid off what I was doing. So it's kind of like just like a setup from the jump.
Conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Out the gate.
I hear that story way too often.
Yeah.
I was about to say I don't want to be the guy to pull the blanket off of things, but wasn't that the producer game? Especially of the magnitude of Polo the Don at the time. Like, you hear all the stories of that from the hit producer and the producers to follow underneath. Like, producers are not exempt from that artist shit that they throw Puff and all them niggas' names, and two producers go through it too, right? So that's protocol at the time.
Yeah.
It's Polo the Don.
Right.
Listen, I watched the, is it Lou Pearlman? I watched the Lou Pearlman doc. The NSYNC Backstreet Boys shit. And all them little white groups came right after and said, hey, we heard everything that was going on with NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys, but that's Lou Pearlman, so we signed. Like it's a cachet thing.
I gotta check that out.
Oh, no, you have to watch that. That was kind of crazy.
Word.
I never knew that they pitted them two, like that was like calculated to pit them two against each other.
Smart.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But anyway, all right, so back to you. So this publishing shit, we in it, and when's the end of it now? Like, if you don't amend again.
I mean, bro, it's so crazy because
Perpetuity.
I mean, like I got some bread, you know what I'm saying? I earned, you know, some of it back. And so I hit my lawyer like, look, let me just pay for this the rest of the money that I owe them, you know, from the whatever advance, the latest advance, and let me just get out my deal. He was like, it don't work like that. You still gonna have to do some years, even if you get him that bread. So I'm just like, bro, it's probably like another 3.5 years maybe. Like, so they basically would have had me from the time I was 19 till I'm damn near 40. You know what I'm saying? That's whack. Most black people can't even make it that long being great.
Successful.
Because we get torn the fuck down and we get bad business shit going on. It's tough, bro. This shit is fucked up.
What was it about having the hit that made you want to investigate?
Shit, I wanted the bag, the real bag.
He said he thought,
you know what's on record,
I'm
though.
thinking, like,
was
okay,
gonna
we got
come.
niggas in Paris, this shit booming. I know I can go to my publisher or whatever, get like, you know, some real bread. And it was like, nah, like your contract is set up like this. So, you know, it's only it's like the MDRC thing that was in my deal, and you know, it just had to be a certain amount of percentages and just so many bullshit just pieces.
All the red tape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me about when that killed your drive then.
It definitely killed my drive for a second, just like on some human shit.
Natural.
Like just like having a just fucked up spirit, just about just like looking at the game, just like, you know what I'm saying? This shit just it was deep, man, for sure. I would say like this is like 2017, mind you. I had already like started working on Astro World with Travis, and you know what I'm saying, I did my part of the Sicko Mode shit and the Carousel joint with Frank Ocean. And then just like looking at my business, I was just like, this shit just don't line up with how I'm in a room with Frank, Travis. I'm going to Hove crib. These niggas is loving me, but then my business ain't reflecting this shit. So I just like had to look around and really just honestly like left everybody, bro, and just went back dolo and just got a studio in Hollywood and just grinded shit out. And like I ended up doing Racks in the Middle. That was the first big joint I did out of the room that I got. And when Nip came through, he just was like, man, there's something about this room. Like I feel like he just blessed it. This was all right before he passed. Then we did the Rack shit. And then after that, Nas came in and it just kept being just like, man, the momentum is there. The momentum is crazy. So just like I said, bro, this whole shit come back to like taking my power back. Like I wasn't looking for no label to book no studio time. I went and got a full-time studio in the middle where mad niggas be at. So I'm catching joints. I'm walking in the hallway. I'm meeting Roddy Ricch, meeting different niggas, and just making plays happen. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been in an
I'm blown away
office.
by all this.
No,
Yeah, word.
I haven't been in an A&R office, bro, And y'all saying I'm having like my biggest run right now. I ain't been in no A&R office or none of that shit in years.
Well,
bro.
you took
That's
the
just
question
straight
out of
hand
my
to hand.
brain. Is there, at this point where you bumping into Roddy Ricch, you in the mix, you in the scene, is there management around? Is there agent around?
Not at the moment.
Got
Not
it.
right now.
Got it.
So you just handle all your negotiations yourself?
With my lawyer, yeah.
Okay.
So that's a trick little monopoly play. I'm getting the studio where I'm in the mix.
Exactly.
I'm gonna
I don't have to
see
be
y'all,
placed.
whether y'all like
They're
it or
gonna
not.
see me.
And you're gonna hear this beat as you niggas walk by.
For sure. All that.
You gonna hear
man.
this monster?
Biggs on extra loud. You're gonna catch somebody.
That's honestly been my trick since day one, bro. I met Ty Dolla $ign when I was 18 years old, like fresh out of high school. I met a gang of niggas, met Neo, like we talking about 04, 05 type shit. I used to go to this studio. Dog, I actually met Ike Turner's son, and he took me to this studio. This was random as hell, and it was a DVD player in the living room, the lobby. I put my beats on and just was playing them, and when niggas was walking by, I just was connecting and done beating Neo. I met Ty, like I got shit in the works with them literally right now, and it's like this is years later.
From 20 years ago.
Yeah, shit wild.
Listen to his story though.
Word.
You hear this shit in it that's fucked up, but you also hear where the greatness is.
Yeah.
Or just the
In
ingenuity,
line,
like yo, I'm gonna
it's
just go in here,
coming.
take the DVD out, and put my shit in.
Right.
For sure.
The niggas walking, I'm like, whoa,
You just I'm gonna make them pay attention to
that's
me.
dope.
Right.
That's dope.
No matter what, y'all
Same
already
shit.
walking through here. I'm gonna make y'all pay attention.
I told you off air that I wouldn't have took no pictures with Kanye. I'd have kept
feel you.
me personally, but I'm bad at relationship management. I'd have left it up there for a little bit, especially while I'm on fire. But I see how it behooves y'all to be amicable, and as an adult in hip hop, I like to see it. Tell me about that process.
Man, this shit's still in process, man. He be
Seem like
in and
with
out.
him, it's always going to be that.
For sure. He just is who he is. But I mean, I just had tapped in with Game after the Magic album dropped. It was probably like first week of January. He just hit me up, and then me and Game we worked a long time ago on the Red album and different little projects, but he was like, man, I'm trying to pull up. He came through. We damn near did an album in 2 days. We did like 10, 11 joints in 2 days. And then he basically moved into the studio like next door
That's
to where I
good.
was at. And we damn near got probably like 30-something records now. And in the middle of that, he already had the idea with the homie Duke for the Easy joint. And that's when Ye came through. He heard it. He was like, bro, I got to be on this shit. So he hopped on it, and then he was the one who actually brought me in to do my production part on the Easy joint with him and Game. So, I mean, as far as I know, it's all love. I haven't spoken to him like lately in the last like couple months, but I mean, bro, like it's somebody I respect. Like that's like my era. Like I was in the 10th or 11th grade when he was, becoming Kanye for real. So that's somebody I really just respect, bro. Like you know what I'm saying, musically for sure.
You know, you would have to.
Yeah, you cannot.
So y'all went there and did that little messy record. That's a messy record y'all did.
Which one? Easy?
Yeah.
That's funny. I mean, he gonna get his emotions out, man.
Listen, I ain't mad at it. So now King's Disease and Nas, and with all of the stigmas that come along, like I said, you can't pick a beat. Shit is rough right now. What's he gonna come with? Who knows what the expectations are? And you're the person tasked with this after that.
Did you consider it that?
At first, I didn't look at it like how much of a responsibility it was, but I just was like, I know this shit sound hard to me, so we gonna rock with it. You know what I'm saying? And Nas was inspired. He hit me. You know what I'm saying? We having 2-hour long conversations about the music we making, about life, about just everything in between, and just the fact that he was so dedicated to wanting to come work, like that pushed me to like, okay, nigga, when you pull up, I got a whole new batch. I got the next batch. We about to have, you know what I'm saying, the shit we need. Like that's inspiring me to get my momentum running.
And the first record y'all did was what? For the first King's Disease.
The first joint, I believe that was All Bad. It was either All Bad or Replace Me with Don Toliver. Because it was supposed to be like a Valentine's Day project. He already had some records. He was like, he want to put like 2 or 3 more. So I before he came to the studio, he had told me that. So I put the Don Toliver hook to the side. I put All Bad to the side and played him them joints, and he lit up. He was fucking with it. So from there, we kept going, and I feel like the record that changed it from that energy to like, nah, we gotta do some shit was when we made the King's Disease intro. We made that song, and we was like, nah, bro, this shit sound like we need to be on. We do a real album.
So let me ask you, y'all was in the studio 80% of the time or more?
What you mean for the
And
when he's
making
recording or whatever.
yeah.
nigga? We in the studio for every
100.
piece of the
Nice.
album, like,
And you can
You
hear
can
it.
hear it.
He's
That's
there.
that synergy.
But you can hear it just playing off each other.
Yeah, I'm producing as he's writing and
That's
shit,
dope.
or whatever, vice versa. Like we just
See,
really getting it in.
we speak about that a lot because you can damn near hear it in on certain projects where it wasn't a synergy here. Like this was just a
Somebody
let me email
me
this
some
over
shit.
here to you.
Yeah.
You do what you do, send it back. But with y'all, you can hear like that y'all were in tune the entire project.
Nah,
Or,
that shit
or
make
if he
it
mailed you some shit, it's Nas. Even if he wasn't on his A game, it's Nas. You can't be like,
Do you do a lot of like vocal coaching and stuff like that?
Nah, for sure. I mean, I be engineering, so if I hear some shit a certain way, I tell him like, you should flip the flow like this or do.
Because
something
you rap
like
too,
this.
so you could actually.
No, for sure. That shit definitely is helping me become a better artist as well. Just
sure.
being next, literally, it's like how you sitting here, I'm right here, and it's just like I'm watching the process. I'm seeing the way he is just saying shit in ways that's like the normal motherfucker wouldn't say it like that. You know what I'm saying?
I want to hear more about that side of Nas, right? Like when they talk about the greatness of Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich and that relationship, what you hear a lot is same with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick until I ran out. The greats will allow you to coach them.
Yeah, for sure.
So like I want to hear more about like even that's more pressure on him though for me. Like you got to be the guy.
but not
now.
if y'all really genuinely kicking it. Once we establish that rapport, I could criticize you because you know it's coming from a good place. Like, yo, I don't really like the way you said that. Yo, you could flip that and do it a different way, and nigga be like, all right, we
I'll
can
try
try
it.
it.
We'll see what happens. Yeah.
I hear all of that, and that's probably right and true. Different when you in the spot and have to tell Mr. Illmatic
Mr. Jones
or Jay-Z or Eminem. There's only about 5 names, or Lil Wayne, or like it's different when you're in the spot. I want to hear more about it.
It is, but it isn't.
Nah, I think it's
if it's genuine.
it's dope because it works in both ways. Because sometimes he might hear a sound I use and be like, nah, you should switch out to, even if it's a drum pattern or a drum loop, he like try a different one or some shit like that. Like we both can give each other, lead each other to where we trying to go. You know what I'm saying?
You're coaching each other, basically. Definitely.
And you open to hearing it. That's the most important piece. You open to hearing
Nah,
it.
it's literally no ego with the shit, bro. That's what make the shit work. Like we trying to make the best song possible. We go song by song, and it's like I'm trying to make the production fire as possible, and he trying to, find the pockets and say the right words. Like we just keeping the shit super organic.
How many songs y'all niggas did in a day?
They got hundreds of songs in the talk, yo.
That's what when
it don't really seem like they gonna
the
stop
first
no time
3
soon.
when the 3 albums came out, I said, man, them niggas might have did that shit in 3 weeks.
Where I mean, a lot of people was hitting me like, "Yo, he talking about Dolph and all these motherfuckers on Magic. Like this shit, y'all must have just did this shit." And that's how I was. We was just running, like, he was pulling up every day, and it was like, man, we need to drop this shit before next year.
Let me ask you.
That's my favorite one is Magic.
I was gonna
That's
say,
what's up,
why Magic and not another King's Disease for that particular project?
I personally was feeling like we damn near should just throw them off. You know what I'm saying? Like come with another project, then KD3. Like that was just the whole approach to it. Like we just making so much music and the shit is feeling good to us, sounding good to us. Like we felt like we needed to get this shit to the people, and you know what I'm saying?
But there wasn't like a conscious effort musically to change it. It's just what happened when you got in the studio that day.
Yeah, it was still organic, but it definitely was conscious. Like as far as my approach on the beats, like I wanted to be more linear. Like as far as like like you think of Death Row East and you got different basses coming in, different guitar parts and all this shit. Like I wanted to just be more linear and just let Nas just do all, like not all the work, but just like so you could really listen to him.
Yeah. I can hear that. I can hear that.
So y'all got 3 more albums in the tuck.
Uh,
He like, yo, KD3. We
see.
finished it. We just y'all niggas don't know yet.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about shit. I ain't gonna lie. But I don't want to put no pressure on that. And I feel like this the most pressure we ever put on ourselves because he said KD3 on the way. And this is like the longest lead time that niggas had. Before, it was a week for KD1 that y'all knew it was coming. A week for KD2. And then Magic was 12
Pop
hours.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was crazy.
12 hours.
That one was
you know
nuts.
What I'm saying? It's shit crazy. Man. So now we got KD3 on the way and niggas is anticipating. I get DMs and motherfuckers in my comments every day. Like,
Bet you do.
I could be doing something. They like, nah, bro, you need to be working on KD3 right now. I'm like, nigga, I'm with my son. Like,
So what was the feeling before the Grammy, before the win? Like at the nomination?
I ain't gonna lie. I personally felt like we deserved it. I'm the type to
shit.
say shit like that. You know what
talk
I'm
your
saying?
shit.
I felt like it was the shit.
That wasn't
real.
your first Grammy though, right?
That was my third.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Just my third.
this was Nas's first.
That was Nas
Yeah,
first.
which is
That's
crazy.
the big thing to me.
So to
like,
be
part of
that's
that.
you know what I'm saying? I feel like people don't really celebrate and talk about that enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just the whole dynamic. Me coming from the West Coast in another era, I guess you could say. And then him being him and us coming together and making that happen. Like, I think that's some major shit.
I'll ask you, even though you won Grammys, but how do you feel about the Grammys?
I mean, that shit cool. I mean,
And when you won, you have a whole different.
Yeah,
that shit is a vibe. You don't think? Oh, you didn't win. Oh, got it.
that's what, no, that shit, I mean, it definitely feel better when you go and you win. I'm going to say that. I just was nominated for 3, my first Producer of the Year award, and I didn't get none this year, so that shit definitely felt different.
Because you lost.
Definitely. I took that personally.
Yeah, you got 3 rings already.
So there's more shit with Nas coming.
Yeah.
I'm imagining your phone is not going to stop ringing anytime soon. Like that's what I was trying to say earlier about the runs being different. Like now, this run is like you can't question. Like you can't question it when I come.
I
in.
have to imagine it's different too because it's albums now, whereas before it would be like a single or album cut or something.
But the thing is I'm still doing that. Like I had Don Toliver's single last year. I had Babyface Ray's single. I had a gang of singles on different artists. But people like choose to look at that what they want to look at. Like I said earlier, so it is what it is, man. Like you just gotta keep gunning for the next one. Like even watching the bringing Kanye up, the Kanye Netflix shit. He like, man, niggas from my town, they sit back and just harp on the shit they did. Like, oh, that shit was dope.
Right.
Versus like, nah, nigga, you better go to the next thing.
some
and
more
just
dope
keep
shit.
pushing. Yeah.
So I want to ask you, is there anything you could give us about Dramatic?
About Dramatic? I mean, I got a lot of songs with bro, but that nigga has a lot of songs, bro. He record like 5-6 joints a day, so I don't know what's what as far as what he gonna use for me or whatever. But
Well, because he was the way
he's rapping though. He got some shit.
Last thing I read, he was saying it was kind of in the realm of what you and Nas was doing. Like, yo, me and Hit Boy have locked in.
When we first started,
so that's what I thought was happening.
when we first started, it was definitely that because we was working on my side of the building in my room, and we was really just locked in on the focus kind of sound. But he's a motherfucker that like to rap, so he bringing in 10 producers a night, doing songs on all they beats. So I kind of that's not how I can't make a KD2 or a Magic like that. He gonna make his album Dramatic, and I'm gonna just add where I can. Like I know I gave him some of my best beats I made recently, so that's from there, my nigga. Whatever happened, it is what it is.
Do you have a preference? Like, do you prefer doing singles versus doing whole entire albums? And walk me through some of the sauce that you need to even be able to do an entire album.
You definitely got to be versatile. You got to have an open mind, like, you know what I'm saying, and be able to meet that artist in the middle. It can't sound too much like you or too much like them. It got to be like, this is a fresh thing. And that's why me and Nas shit work, because, like you say, you didn't know what it was going to sound like. So when you hear it, it's like, oh, this is a fresh approach. It just is that by default. But as far as, I mean, bro, like, I feel like I got the versatility to do motherfuckers' albums, so I want to do the whole album. But if I can only get one record off, that's cool. They got their vision, and that's what you gotta respect. And you can't have an ego about it. You gotta just like let it be what it's gonna be. Is
there anyone that you would wouldn't mind doing a full project with at the moment?
For sure, shit. Hove, Kendrick, motherfucking Drake. It's a lot of people. I mean, but really, it's like this type of connection. As far as me and the Nas shit, that shit don't happen every day.
No.
So it's just like whoever I end up connecting with. Like I feel like I can mesh with anybody.
Talk that shit.
How often do you make beats?
As much as life and my son allows me to.
Right.
Sometimes I gotta have him in my arms. Like I could show y'all videos of my cause I got a booth in my studio where I go smoke when my son is there. So I smoke. I'm like in the cut. Then I look out. My son was taking a nap when I went in the closet. When I came out, when I looked out, he was sitting on Nas' lap while Nas is writing the verse. I'm like, this shit is crazy.
Wow.
Like, that's my life right now.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Some life, huh?
It's a wild life. It's
Crazy.
I want to apologize to you, man, for putting you in that Boy Wonder Versus smoke, man.
Damn, you did do that. That was you popped that off. But
now, thank God that happened before you just went absolutely crazy.
That was definitely a part of what made me want to go even crazier, though, too.
Give it to me.
Just the way that niggas was looking at it. And I was looking at it when I was watching the Tim and Swizz, I was listening to the beats. And then it's like, even like, we playing joints and I'm playing what I feel like is the hardest beats. Soon as you hear Drake's voice, you're fucking hypnotized. It's over with. Yeah. So it seemed like I lost. But niggas who know music is like, man, the beats was the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like every song with the artist might have not been on that Drake level, but nigga, that's hard to do, bro.
That nip sneak peek kind of won you that battle too.
Nah, that shit was a little haymaker.
That boy
Niggas in Paris
was
went up too. I played that a few times back to back. That was cool, but
nah, he pulled out his cheat code list of niggas.
Of course,
he did the same. It's just the person on the other side had a little cheat code list too.
That nigga had
and that Drake cheat code list.
That's a Draco for real.
But that was a great night for hip hop. That was before Versus really versus.
That was like the second.
Nah, that
was for the heads.
That was really the first set up one because Swizz and Tim just hopped on IG.
Right.
So this
It was like set up. Niggas was promoting it. It was a different thing. So that shit was crazy. I got mad love for Boy Wonder, man. That's my dog. I just seen him right before I hopped on the plane to come out here.
Is there that's fam? Shout out to Boy Wonder. Is there a producer versus that hasn't happened that you would want to see?
Shit like Mike Will and Mustard. That shit'd be cool. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a good matchup.
Who takes that?
I can't call it.
This guy's good.
Can't call it.
That's a monster.
No, he's good.
Nah, that's a tough battle though.
Yeah.
I told Berg stop pulling on Mustard's little coattail. Leave him alone.
Berg is talking crazy.
You heard him, right?
I don't think he should be calling out Mustard personally, but
did you text him that?
No, I don't be texting him.
I don't be texting him, but he should chill.
It's all love though.
How do you can't tell somebody in the business they should chill, right? Like if they want that smoke,
do your shit, bro. I hope that shit work out fine.
But
that's a long day for a lot of people.
Would you do it again?
Probably not. Me and Boy Wonder talked about it. Like he was like,
not with Boy Wonder, just period.
At this point, now it's different. Now the world was shut down. It was the IG live shit. It was a different energy. Now that shit is super polished and it's dope. They getting to it, but I just like the raw aspect of it.
Me too. Me too. I still watch certain ones.
I want him to go back to produce. You know, I'm always saying I want to go back to producer battles.
That's my thing.
I'm good
that's
with
what I
all
thought
artist
it was
shit, man.
about. It was about giving a motherfucker who don't get the shine some shine. Then it start being niggas who pop
Superstars.
as hell.
Yeah.
Like it's like damn,
the money came.
you know what I'm
money,
saying? Which that's dope.
I mean, that's the goal, right?
Yeah. Initially, niggas
You
do it
right.
for the art,
It's
then they
about-
love it for the
love,
bag.
and then it's for the bag.
bread, man. That's one thing it's about for sure.
So now, so where does Hit Boy stand goal wise today? Because your accomplishment list is long. Like, what's on the horizon? What's in the future? What are you trying to do different? What different beat are you trying to make?
Man, I would say just like having a number one record that's Hit Boy, you know what I'm saying? Like whether it's me featuring an artist or just my own record, like just like that's like another level for me, something that I haven't done. Like
really, you rapping
As the artist.
me rapping,
Gotcha.
or even like I'm doing a producer type album as well, like some Khaled-esque type shit.
Compilation
Just getting
shit,
different, you know, artists on my shit. And, yeah, so, I mean, just regardless of what it is.
I would
just,
let you rap on my song.
I feel you.
I thought that
That's
was a
all I
cheat
love.
code, too. Yeah, no, he can't make the beat and rap on the beat that he made the pocket to. And I'm coming to
cheat
rap
code,
on
right.
that.
You
Because you
gotta-
can rap.
Yeah, it's a fact. You can rap.
Here's a silly question for you. Give me the beat that you sold where you wish the artist would have took the song in a different direction.
Man, I can't pinpoint one, but it's I would say plenty, man.
I'm sure that
Where
happens
I'm
a
like,
lot.
damn, it's certain beats I literally shit'll pop up on YouTube or some shit I forgot I did. Like, damn, I should have saved that beat. That motherfucker was hard.
That's what you did with it. Like,
I mean, because it didn't really go to that level. You know what I'm saying?
When you make beats, sometimes you make them with a specific artist in mind.
If I'm working with them, yeah. But
No, like if you not.
Honestly, I just try to think about the top motherfuckers and be like, if it's good enough, like to where I can hear one of them on it, then it should be solid for whoever else I play it for. So maybe not a specific artist, but just like I just think about like if I gotta be in a room all of a sudden with Jay-Z, Kendrick, Nas, whoever,
Like
I want
this
to just
particular
have
beat.
some shit that's on that level.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna just fire at you because you got a heart out. Give me your favorite studio moment of your career, whether the song came out or didn't come out. Just your favorite studio moment
Favorite
that you've
studio
ever been a
moment.
part of.
Man, that's a lot, but what's popping in my mind right now, being in New York, when I first came out to the Mercer to work on the Watch the Throne album, being in the room, because they was also working on John Legend album, so I got opportunity to make a beat in a room like with like John Legend, Spike Lee, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Kanye, and all these different people, and I'm like on the piano making the melody while Kanye is coming up with lyrics for John to sing, and that was just like a
That's crazy.
moment where I'm like, damn, I'm coming from the crib. I flew all the way over here by myself with suitcases with my computer, my big ass desktop, a big keyboard. Like I'm really just like thugging at the time.
You brought the desktop out.
Bro, that motherfucker was banged up because I put it in the joint. I put it through the shit, so they throwing it around. I get my shit like the side of it then fell off.
Because this is before
And them
Fruity.
niggas in Paris beat is on this computer. Fucking Backseat Freestyle, all
That's
these beats
crazy.
is on this computer.
Because this is before
It's-
FL Studio would work on the Mac, right? So you had to kind
No,
of.
I've been on PC since
okay.
day one. Yeah,
Oh, word.
yeah. I was always on. I was on PC. I had a big ass desktop with the screen, with the Digio 3. I don't know how I was traveling with all this shit. Bro.
That's
Dolo,
crazy.
like
You like, Mama, I made it.
crazy,
I'm in the room with the greatest.
nuts, bro.
I'm here now.
Toughest lesson you had to learn in your career to get where you are today.
I know I spoke about something, but I feel like, man, going back to like spreading myself too thin, like don't focus on too much at one time, like really just like be in the shit while you doing it, you know what I'm saying? Like I could have probably sold way more beats if I wasn't giving them to certain artists that I was signing or trying to sign or had signed, whatever. Like it's plenty beats where, you know, some major artists probably even wanted them at the time, and I'm like, nah, that's for my artist, and it's like, which is cool, but that's like could have been another whatever. You never know.
Right,
So
right.
just to, you know, pace yourself, and like to pace myself, and just, you know, don't like spread myself too thin, man. Like that's it.
Tell me about the long rumored producer myth that you guys wouldn't play all of your folders for all of the artists that you would see. Like if you went to go see a top level act, a B level act, then you're gonna keep some of the heat and the talk away from it, and he'll never hear it.
The only way for me would be if I already like text or emailed it to somebody and they like hold that down. But for me, I'm gonna play whatever I feel like is hot because it's my name on this shit. Like so, I want shit to be at the highest level.
I'm an up and coming rapper out there. I heard some Hit Boy shit. I think it's fire. Try to network and get one of those beats. What do I have to do?
Shit, bring me like 30K cash. Solid.
So like,
Bang.
some
that shit
like.
Hey, that alley-oop was high in there. He had to reach to dunk that shit. Boy, that was not by the rim. 30 grand.
You know?
Give or take.
Yeah. Depends on the situation.
40 get you something. 40 get you something?
Nah, I'll give you some shit for the 30. I mean, you know, it depends.
If they nice
It gotta
enough.
be cash though.
That's right.
Got to pull up Elon's down. 30 cash. Just pull that out the glove compartment. He's talking to the dope boys only, huh? Damn, what the fuck was I just about to ask him?
What do you think about like the people making samples and all that stuff? Do you use sample packs from like composition people?
I have, but now I only use like samples from like producers that I'm really about to be doing business with or signing or whatever the case is. Like, I feel like I just put too many motherfuckers on. Put a lot of producers on that's popping literally right now that I got nothing off of. Tried to take them to my publisher, they sleeping, and then they end up getting a deal with another motherfucker and turning up. And I've been had the vision for it, so that's just like, it's a crazy game, the production shit. But yeah, as far as loops, man, like I'm not finna let, because I mean, it's like I come up with like certain pockets that just kind of feel new, that feel like a wave, and a motherfucker take credit for the shit I'm doing. Like, nigga, I came up with a whole new bag on this shit.
And you can play a little bit too, right?
No, for sure.
So you don't really even necessarily need that shit.
I mean,
like that.
I came from the era where I had to make the whole melody, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's really, not to say some lazy shit, but I mean, it's being with the times as well. But I come from, nigga, one key at a time, putting chords together.
I feel you, bro.
Every single, like, not drum loops, like drum samples, just one shots, like figuring it out.
Because some people really do there's some guys out there that make the firest melody in the world, and people just kind of loop them, maybe put a little bit on it, and that'd be that.
Yeah.
So I feel you.
Tell me what was wrong with you this night.
Neutral Budden.